What's up, YouTubeverse? This is Donnie. Welcome to another edition of Donnie's Den. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope that you guys had a great week, and I also hope that your Labor Day was very peaceful and enjoyable. And speaking of holidays, nobody probably knows what today is, but for us guys that are beard enthusiasts, it's World Beard Day. It always lands on the first Saturday of September. And, basically it's just, guys just, embracing their beards. They're, celebrating it by, getting a nice beard trim or buying yourself some beard products or, just strutting their stuff, being proud of the mane that they had grown, and with that being said, I've been letting my beard grow out a little bit here lately. Usually I cut it down short during the hotter months, like I do with my hair when I get a buzz cut. But I'm starting to let it grow back out now again, since the weather's starting to get just a little bit cooler and the months are starting to go into, fall, winter months, but you know what though, I think instead of cutting it low when it gets warmer out next year, after winter, next season after next, I think I'm just going to go ahead and just let it grow. I've let it, the first time I let it grow to see how far it would go, how long it would get, and it got pretty long. I carried that beard around for a while, even though it didn't really look all that good, because I really didn't know what I was doing, but I still went ahead and I rocked it. And then, second time when I let it grow a little bit longer, it looked a lot better, because I got a little bit of knowledge of, how to train the beard, how to take care of it, how to help it grow faster, and, it being healthy and, and able to, maintain it, so, this time around, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to let it just grow, and, see where it grows, and where it goes. But, with growing a beard though, I have a lot of young guys that come up to me and, ask me, well, you got a real nice beard and it's growing really fast and it's coming out really nice. How do you do that? And, and I tell them, that, actually there's believe it or not, there's a science to it. There really is, so, considering it's World Beard Day, I'd like to do a little quick, beginner's beard instruction 101, okay? So first of all, when you're growing a beard, grow it. Don't shave it. There'll be times where you'll be tempted to shave it. You may have a lot of people say, oh, it don't look good, it looks terrible. Shave that thing, it don't look good whatsoever. And, you got to remember though, a lot of times, when you're growing it out, it's going to hit that awkward stage where, it's just, it's going to look really not good. It's going to look kind of rough, but you know what? Just keep at it. Just keep at it, and just let it grow, My suggestion to you guys is just, who wants to really seriously want to grow a beard, not to be tempted to shave it, just throw away your razors. Just get rid of them all, throw them in the trash, discard them, be done with it, okay? And, a lot of times, guys will say, well, I'm trying to grow a beard, it's just, I grow it out so long, then it gets very itchy, and the reason why it's getting very itchy is because, when you're growing out your hair, your beard on your face, it's stripping your face of a lot of natural oils. So therefore, your skin's going to get dry, and therefore it's going to be, the itchiness of it, so, again, I'm gonna give you guys a little quick one-on-one of how to start the whole, beard regiment. Okay, a little quick, crash course. All right. Now, first thing that you gotta do is when you start growing your beard, again, like I stated, don't shave, no matter how you're tempted to. No matter what people say, just don't listen to that. It everything's got to start somewhere, right? So let the beard give it a chance to go somewhere. Let it get a chance to grow and shape. All right. So to get past the itchiness, you gotta, again, like I said, it was a science. You gotta take care of the beard, right? So first and foremost is what you want to do is when you take a shower, okay, you use some beard wash, okay. It's this shampoo formulated especially, for your beard. You know, when you're taking a shower, just go ahead, lather it in, you know, rinse it off, as you're showering. Now, what I like to do, though, me personally, is, once I lather it in, and you want to, use your fingernails, your fingers, get into the nooks and crannies real good, you know, scrub in there, make sure you're hitting the hair follicles or whatnot, get underneath that neck, because that's my main itchy spot, is letting the hair grow underneath the neck, so you want to go ahead and make sure that's covered, and all areas and points of your beard. Now this is what I do. Instead of rinsing it out right away after I make sure that it's all, you know in there real good, I'll just keep it in my beard, like you would with a hair conditioner. I'll go ahead and I'll shower, you know and when I'm done showering, I'll leave it in when I'm done showering, rinsing off and everything, my body. Then that's when I will finally rinse out my beard. Let the water hit it, make sure that, it's getting all the, all the soap or whatnot, shampoos or whatnot out of it. Okay. And then when you get out of the shower, just take your towel and just dab it. Just dab it. Don't go in and just take your towel and just be real rough with your beard and your face and just, tag at it, snag at it, because, that way it's just pulling the hairs out, it's just, breaking the hairs, just dab it real good, get that moisture out of there, you know. And again, with a beard wash, that's like shampoo and conditioner for your beard, basically. And speaking of moisture, well, that's one of the main purposes of a beard shampoo, beard wash, is to, moisturize that beard. That's the secret, to having a healthy beard and being able to do away with that itch. You want to be able to moisturize that skin underneath the hair follicles, soften up the hair, get rid of that itch, okay? So once you get done doing that, what you want to do is you want to use you some beard oil. You can get beard oil and, again, beard wash, Amazon, Walmart's, any store that has it, beauty supply store I go to a lot. I find a lot of good men's products in there, and a good, a good supply of, different men's products for hair and beard and whatnot, so, once I'm done drying off the beard, I'll go ahead and I'll just take the beard oil, and the beard oil comes in, they got different brands out there and different scents. This one is what, sandalwood. They also have like a vanilla tobacco one, a cedarwood kind, a bourbon kind. It's just, they have all different types of scents. So what you do is just go ahead and just take your dropper. Okay. Go ahead and just, put your, well, they claim to go ahead and, do your 3-4 drops. As your beard gets longer, do, a little bit more drops. But you know what, to be honest with you, I've always been heavy-handed in everything I do, whether it's seasoning when I'm cooking or making drinks or whatnot, so everybody says I'm extra, so you know what, I always do everything a little bit extra, so I'm just going to add a little extra of oil in that, okay? Just rub it in your hands real good. You know, get it good and warmed up. Okay. And then just go ahead and just apply it to your beard. You know, just use your fingers. Make sure that it's getting into your follicles real good, into your skin. You know, the base roots of your hair. Okay. Let you goatee a little bit there. You know, your little soul patch. And you'll hit that mustache. And you'll get the ends of it, the corners of it. Underneath that neck, because again, like I stated earlier, that's my eye spot where it gets most itchy. You know, and again, with the beard wash and the beard oil, that helps moisturize it, gives it a good, healthy sheen. You know, good for the hair follicles, the skin underneath. And, you know, just helps really do away, you know, with that itch. So, what you want to do is just, just rub it in there real good. You know, when you get done using it, your beard's going to look kind of crazy looking all way out there, but that's okay. Because then, once you get it in there, what you want to do is you want to use a beard brush. Now, with a beard brush, you know, you want to get the kind that's a boar's hair brush, you know, because it's really coarse, you know, and if you look real good, I don't know if you can see it or not, the bristles, some of the bristles are really longer, some of them is really shorter. That helps get to the hair, and the other longer ones help get to that skin, that follicles. Okay, so what you want to do is just go ahead and just brush your beard with the oil in it. And the reason why you're doing that is because, first of all, you know, it's circulating blood flow, which is going to help your beard grow out even more. It's going to help getting all them tangles out or whatnot. Plus, also, you're training your beard. It's like when you train your hair to go a certain way when you comb it, you know, have it go in a certain direction. Same thing with this. You know, you're just training it to go into the shape that you want it to grow into. You know, get your mustache a little bit. Little soul patch. Get your goatee. Okay. Make sure you get that oil in there really good. Get that blood flow circulating in there. You know, and once you do that, and you go ahead and you get your beard comb. Now, with a beard comb, you can't just use any type of comb, okay? Don't use a plastic comb, because a plastic comb, you know, it's that your beard hair is going to catch into the teeth of the comb. It's going to pull it, it's going to yank it, it's going to break the hairs. It's just, you know, it's not beard friendly. You know, what you want to do is get you a beard comb, okay, and which is made out of wood, okay, and it doesn't pull, it doesn't, you know, agitate your beard, any breakage or anything like that, okay. So after you brush it, just go ahead and do the same thing, just, you know, kind of shape it a little bit, again, into the direction of where you want the beard to grow. You got to train it, okay. Hit that mustache a little bit, you know, hit that goatee, because there's all different shapes of beards. You know, some guys like a rounder beard, you know, some guys like the beard to come down long, squared off at the bottom. You know, some guys like to have the beard where, you know, it comes down, you know, at an angle. I think they believe they call it like a duck type of a beard, like a duck tail or whatnot. That's the kind I kind of prefer, where it's, you know, bushy on the cheeks, but then it's going down at an angle. If your goatee is kind of going down some, you know. And as you can see also, you know, my mustache grows out a lot faster than what my whole beard does, you know. So you know, a lot of times I gotta take it a little bit easy on the beard oil or whatnot with the mustache, so it don't grow, you know, a little bit faster than the rest of the beard, you know. But then that's also another style called a I think it's called a mustache beard, you know, where your beard's a little bit shorter, but your mustache is a little bit thicker and longer. But I mean, each his own. I don't really care for the style myself, but a lot of guys do, and they rock it very well. But and who knows? I might go ahead and just since the mustache grows out real quick, then the beard, one day I may try that. But the look I'm trying to go for again is the is that ducktail type of where it's narrow and kind of going down. Okay. But who knows though? One day I might just go ahead and do that square beard as well. Okay. And then really that's all you got to do. And of course they have this is a single tooth wooden one, but they also have one that's got the teeth on there, the narrow teeth and the wider teeth. Okay. And then once your beard grows out a little bit thicker, then they suggest that you just comb it upwards first. After, of course, you brush it and apply your beard oil before and beard wash and whatnot. And then just flip it over and just go down. And again, comb it to the direction that you would like it to grow. Again, I try combing my beard at an angle, kind of narrow on the cheeks and going down at a point with the goatee. Just brush out just a tiny bit. Or not brush it, but comb it out rather. Just to give it a little bit of fullness look to it, okay? And that's basically really all you got to do. You do that once in the morning when you get up. When you shower, beard wash, beard oil. Brush it, comb it. Pretty much you're good to go. They also have some other products though that is is a beard butter. And again, it's different scents. This one is what it's shea butter and cocoa butter rather. I'm sorry. And it's like an aged bourbon, scent to it. But again, they have all kinds of different scents to beard oils and beard butters and beard balms or whatnot. And essentially with the beard butter, to me personally, that's just like beard oil, just more of a creamier type of texture. But you apply it the same way as you do with the beard oil. Okay. And basically, again, to me, it's this beard oil, just in more of a thicker, cream form of it, okay? And then once your beard starts really growing, because you gotta be, again, consistent, with your beard routine. You can't just do it every now and then, every once in a while with the beard oil, beard wash or whatnot, because if you half-ass something, you're gonna get half-ass results, right? That's with anything in life. And the same applies with a beard. If you do a half-ass job, you're going to get half-ass results. So you got to do the full benefits of it. You got to do the whole thing. To get the whole maximum full benefits of it. What you put into it. And again, with life, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Time, patience, consistency. It's all going to pay off at the end of the day. With everything, not only just a beard, but with things in life as well, okay? But anyway, then once the beard starts, you have patience and let it grow out some, you're going to get a lot of them little flyaways and them little hairs that's sticking up or whatnot, and whatnot. So with that, what you would do is you would want to go with a beard balm. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not because it's a little bit darker and it's got the white letters, but anyway, basically, beard balm, is just a little bit thicker in consistency than the beard butter, okay? And and just think of the beard balm as like a pomade. How you put hair product into your hair to make it kind of shiny or give it a good hold. Be able to shape it better and style it better and whatnot. Same concept. You just go ahead and you just apply your beard balm like you did with your beard butter, You know, make sure it's all in there really good. Okay? And you just go ahead and you just take your brush, get it in there real good. You know, take your comb, again, flip it over. If you got a double tooth type of a comb, and there it is. And that's all you do with the beard balm, and that helps really to keep, you know, that beard, be able to shape it, you know, hold down those flyaways, you know, and you know, a lot of your you know, your beard balms are infused with beeswax, so you know that'll be able to keep all those flyaways, you know, down, and you'll be able to you know, tame that mane a bit. Okay, and you might want to apply that maybe a couple times, you know, during the course of the day. Same thing with the beard butter, with the beard oil. Again, you know, do that when you get up after you wash your beard, and you know, do that, you know, a couple times a day. Like, you know, I'll do it before I go to work, and then, you know, when I get home from work, I'll go ahead and I'll you know, add some more beard oil to it, you know, brush it out or whatnot, you know, and you know, and that's really basically it. You know, I mean, you know, it's something that's simple, you know, but it has a science to it. All these products work for a purpose, you know, producing, you know, great results individually, and if you put them all together, you're going to have excellent results, you know. So they're going to help. It just depends on you if you're going to be consistent with it and want to be, you know, patient with it, you know, because it's going to grow, you know. A lot of people say, well, you know, it's got a lot to do generically with genes. Well, I believe that's true. You know, some people will get a better beard, thicker beard faster than others, and some won't. But that doesn't mean that you can't grow a beard. You know, you just might have to just put a little bit more effort, you know, into it, basically. Okay. And but again, once I get this beard coming out, I think I'll do the little angle ducktail thing again. And once it gets a little bit longer, who knows? I might just go ahead and try to do the you know, square it off a little bit. You know, once my mustache gets a little bit longer and the beard kind of catches up with the mustache, put a little bit of mustache wax at the corners, you know, kind of get that pointed up. But you know, that'll be a different, you know, another video I'll do. Okay, another tutorial video. All right. Now I'm gonna let you on the secret. You know, can you keep one? This, I believe, this product, I believe, is the secret. Is the secret to the beard being able to generate, you know, and grow a lot faster, especially if you have some patchy bald spots. I believe that this oil, as I'm going to talk about here, is really going to help that. Not only with your beard, but if you're having hair loss as well. You know, put it on your spots where you're missing a little bit of hair, because guys our age, you know, we have a few little spots here and there, right? You know, and our hair growth kind of slows down a little bit, you know. I believe this product, you know, is going to really help with all of that, including your beard, okay? And what it is this Jamaican black castor oil, okay? Now this particular brand, you know, the company is named Mango and Lime, okay? That doesn't mean that's what the scent is, though they do have a mango and papaya scent, which is what this scent is. But you know, mango and lime is just the name of the company. But they have different types of scents, peppermint and oh, I don't know, just an array of different smelling scents, which I would highly recommend. Because if you go ahead and you just use a pure black Jamaican castor oil, you know, raw, organic, I mean, it's good, but the smell is kind of ashy. So, you know, I mean, if you can deal with that, great. If you can't get past that, then I suggest that you go ahead and get some scented kind, okay? They also have another brand, I believe, and known as called, I think it's called Sunset Island, and that's another, brand of black Jamaican castor oil. And I also just found out that them two companies had also came out with a black castor oil beard oil, which I have not tried yet. This is not the beard oil that I just had showed you. It's just regular black Jamaican castor oil. But I heard they got a formula now. It's beard oil now. So I'm gonna have to give that a try next time. But with this stuff here, this stuff is really gonna make the difference in the game. It's gonna be a game changer. It's thicker than your usual beard oils. It's got a very thick consistency to it. Kind of like honey, the texture of it. But if you just get a few drops of that, after you wash your beard, of course, get you a few drops of that in your hand, okay? Matter of fact, here, I'll just do it here real quick. Oh, so you can see how thick it is. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's a thicker oil, like honey. And again, I apply this in my beard at least a couple times, a week, And again, same thing after a clean beard, you want to go ahead and just rub it in your beard real good, the skin, the follicles, whatnot, okay? Under the neck, hit all the places you want hair growth at, especially concentrate, especially on those patches that you have. Okay. And again, what do we do next? Right, we use the brush. Again, brush that in there. There's a direction that you want your beard to grow in. Make sure that oil's getting into your beard and your skin, your follicles real good. It'll give it a nice healthy shine. It'll make it softer. It'll hydrate, and all the products that, the beard products, helps hydrate the beard as well and the skin, which is the main thing. Hydration, okay? Just put that in there. Get your comb. And there it is, Now they say to keep the Jamaican black castor oil in your beard, I don't know, for a couple of hours, then rinse it out. I don't know, I kind of try to keep mine in there, like on my day off from work, I'll put it on, and I don't know, I'll just keep it in, and just let it soak in the beard, into the hair, into the skin, just let it do its thing, and, but they suggest that you put it in your beard, keep it in for, about an hour or whatnot, rinse it out. Again, it's a real thick oil, so just use it sparingly. A little bit goes a long way. And if you put a whole bunch on there, it's going to be that much harder to wash out of your beard. But again, I don't really wash it out right away. I'll just keep it in for a while, sometimes overnight. And then the next day when I shower, I'll just go ahead and just use my beard wash it out, and then just use my regular, beard oil and beard butter and balm and whatnot, okay? And I just had mentioned, earlier, okay? So, and that's really gonna help, They even suggest that if you want to, keep it in your beard all night long. They say use some type of a plastic bag or something, to put it in to help, deep condition it and keep the oil from getting on your pillows and all that. Well, I don't know. I just put enough in there and just let it absorb and soak in, and pretty much I don't really have that much problems with oil getting on my pillowcases or whatnot, because pretty much it's absorbed in there by then. So again, I do that a couple times a week, and that kind of gives it a boost, gives everything a boost, enhances it, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this beard tutorial. Just growing a beard is like with anything in life. You just gotta be persistent with it. You gotta be patient with it. You gotta keep at it, and you know, what you put into is what you're gonna get out of it. You know, like with anything in life, with anything, the rules apply. You know, something simple, and but it means so much and can do so much, you know, of results for you. Okay. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, I encourage that you do that. Please do so. You know, push that like button. Please push the share button. And if you would like to support this platform, you know, buy me a beer, a cigar, some more beard oil. You know, it'd be truly, truly appreciated. And I will leave the comments with the Cash App and the Venmo app in the my comment box below. Okay. So with that being said, I hope you guys will still continue to have a great weekend. Have a great week. You know, again, let the beard grow. Okay. Until next time, this is Donnie. Always keep it real. Always keep it 100. Peace.